chat yet. Actually, I can't yet. Yeah, the Xbox buying. I think you do. Go to Xbox buying. Ow! Huh? That's a good question. What, Friday? That's really strange. It's really like at the top. I think it's usually me that's meant to have it, but I can't see it. Nom nom nom. Don't mind me, guys. Just eating some pizza. I am. It is connected. Should do. Oh, let me just try this down here. Hold on. I'll leave this and invite you. Love a few technical difficulties, don't we? It won't come through unless. It should be on the Xbox party. It should be at the top. Speak. Speak. You're very, very quiet. Speak. You're very, very quiet. You're very, very. No. Oh wait. I think I know. Yeah. Now try it, mate. You just. Yeah. No. Right. So I'll get ready. We have a minute until lobby start, guys, in chat. So make sure you're following in, and then we'll get started for the finale. Yeah. Hello, Ian. How are you, buddy? How are you? Are you the only one here at the moment? Right, let's go. That's CLR Thursday. Ready. Oh. 21. Hello, how are we? Right, let's get going. Let's get this show on the road, boys. Let's get this show on the road. If we can get readied up, please and thank you. Yeah, perfect. Give me 2 seconds. I just need to turn off my screen. Alright, we're back again. Sorry about that, guys. I'm back again. We'll get ready in about 12 seconds when the lobby goes. Netherlands is one of my favourite tracks, just like Hungary. Right, perfect. Timer is on, so let's get started, shall we, boys and girls? So, Good morning, good afternoon, and good evening, wherever you may be in the world. Welcome to Charging League Racing. My name is GingerNut1107, better known as Cal, and here we are, guys. Here we are, the finale of Season 4 at Netherlands, and if you can already see, it is raining in qualifying. But yeah, the finale on F124 Thursday tier is tonight, so very emotional, very, very emotional. So we will return again back to Zandvoort for the Dutch Grand Prix, a track steeped in motorsport history and character. First opened in 1948 after World War II. The track didn't instantly come onto the calendar, but it did come quite soon after, in I think 1952. Give me 2 seconds. 2 seconds, lads. Having a bit of technical difficulties at the start, but we do have a lot of people in chat. Yeah, let's try and sort this out quickly. Sorry, I do like my instructions, don't I? I think that might have worked. There we go. Let's see if this is working now. Sorry about that. We'll continue on. So, it is nestled in the sand dunes of the Northern Sea coast. After decades away, because it did go away after a while, it did come back in 2021 after the COVID season, and now updated with some new safety features, as you know it should. But it did keep the soul, it did keep the heart of the track. After a decade away, we've already done that, haven't we? So now you may ask, what makes this track so unique? For starters, the banking, that's there, isn't it? The banking is there. I'm going to have to pause the video stream again. 1 second. Guys, back again. So there's the banking. It's the right place where rhythm is everything. You've got the curves, the elevation changes, and the short straights that punish the smallest of mistakes. And it's obviously true to a driver's circuit. It's loud. The Danish, God, I'm gonna get hit for that, aren't I? The Dutch fans are very, very loud, showing their flares, the orange smoke, things like that. They'll definitely be showing it for the Dutch drivers here today. And also tonight, the virtual version fuels a lot of passion from such a great season. This is a place where you want to go right at the end, isn't it? But as we gear up for one last race, it is not impossible to... Well, it is, yeah, it's not impossible to reflect on the journey. So, yeah. But it's been a good journey, hasn't it? We've had a very good season. It's been a long one, hasn't it? 20 seasons long or something ridiculous? 20 seasons? 20 rounds long. It's been a long season, and we're going to come to the final race. And for some, it's been quite a breakout of a season. For some, it's been not so, not so. Jens, for example, actually, he's done pretty well so far, isn't he? He's done pretty well. But obviously, it's going to be a special occasion, as it's more than just a league, isn't it, guys? It's more than just a league. It's a community, competition, and above all, a celebration of racing and having a bit of fun between friends. So, before we go to the final of red lights, we've got qualifying, and then we'll go over the previous race winners later in the Grand Prix, just to spice it up a bit at the very end. But tonight, we'll go into the two Titans as well. There's only one title, though. One title, two Titans. Titles. One title, two Titans, however you want to say it. Yeah, this is Charging League Racing, and let's send it off in a good style for F124. Personally, I don't think there's no better way to send off F124 than coming to the Netherlands. It's a great track, great of history. Everyone loves it here, don't they? So, we will get a little bit further into this qualifying session. We did miss a few. There's no laps yet, but they are definitely getting started. So let's find someone who is on a hot. The first one to be on a hot will be Yatin. Yatin's on a hot. So I'm going to quickly pause. Apologies. There we go. So here he comes. Round the final bend comes Yatin Gludenwald. He comes across the line, sets the bank lap on the wet tyres. he does a 1:23.6, and your people with eager eyes might have realised what that just was at the bottom there. So, hopefully the mic is working on the other end. So let's get him introduced then, shall we? So if you saw, you might assume. You can't hide it, can you? Anyway, let's get into it, guys. So, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, please give a warm welcome back into the commentary box, the one and only, the best of the best, Sleepy Sloth 9373.
Hello. How are we?
Hello, mate. How are we? All good?
Not bad. Good to be back. Been a long time
It's
coming.
great to have you. Yeah, been a very long time. It's nice to have you back, mate. Nice to have you back.
I'm excited.
We've got 11 viewers. Yeah, it's going to be good fun.
Absolutely tipping it down.
Show us through a lap?
Oh, well, I would love to, mate. Who's on a flyer? Who's starting a new lap? Stefania is, but so is Bjorn. So let's watch on board with last season's reigning Friday champion then, as he rounds the banking for what will be his first flying time then, as we hurtle towards turn 1 then. Really short run, braking so much earlier, but he's actually in none, so let's find someone else. Captain's on an outlap, Pink's on an outlap. Let's watch someone, well, everyone else is pushing on for laps. Who else is pushing? Hot lap mode, Humph is up on his time, if we look at that, P5. He's currently, I think, 1.1 up on his time, so that would be putting him in alongside MJB. It takes him ahead of MJB. Woo. What a lap time from the Merc.
Yeah, I mean, you haven't seen the races recently. I'm sure you've been keeping up on the streams, but Hump's one of our drivers who's massively improved. MJB, people like that. There's a lot of new names as well.
Yeah.
But Hump, very good. Obviously, CLR Friday champion already.
That's crazy to see. I mean, he's fighting for two. He's not fighting for 2 championships anymore. But yeah, I mean, last season he wasn't slow by any means, but he's definitely had a bit of a revival coming into this year, and it wouldn't be a bad way to finish off the new game, would it?
No, definitely not. I mean, I think he's definitely found some form this season. He'll be looking to carry it onto the new game, but this season he's definitely showed what class he does have. Yeah.
Someone that is important to talk about as well is the man who's now currently going through Sector 1, just at the banking then of Turn 3. It is the man, the myth, the legend, SNRS captain, better known as Hobnob, the championship protagonist then today. But I'm right in saying he is obviously on his flyer, but he's also just behind MJB in the championship. Am I right?
Yeah, 3 points. We haven't gone into the permutations yet, but I do have them ready. We'll get into that a bit later on, I think.
But, oh, and that's a bottle job there from the McLaren. He's gone on the skateboarding curb just before turn 9, and that is going to have to be an abort for that first flyer. So that may be a bit of shakiness, a sign of a couple of nerves maybe kicking in for this championship.
I'd have to agree. And there's championship rival as well. Topples the grid by 7/10.
That's twisted the knife.
That's an incredible lap.
Jeez,
incredible, yeah.
Great lap from the Dutchman.
Yeah, I can definitely. Captain is suffering a bit of nerves, I think, here at the moment. That's his first mistake pretty much all season. He's been on form. Definitely on form.
What a time to make it, though. You definitely want to make sure that this race, where you're fighting everything across the line, you just want to make sure every single aspect is covered, and you just want a clean run to the end, really.
Yeah, so part of the permutations is whoever wins the race automatically wins the championship.
Really? Regardless?
So, yes.
That's
regardless
great.
of what happens. Just because of the point difference and how points are given out in CLR, no matter who wins the race, they will win the championship.
Oh! Sorry to cut you off there, but Weeby and Jen, so the Alpine and the Sauber, have made contact through Sector 2, and that has resulted in a 5-second grid penalty for the Sauber.
Oh, I didn't see it, but I can see the damage on that Alpine's car. Do you know who was on the hot lap?
I think it may well have been Jen's. Looks to me as if it is that way, as he's got a lot less battery. So that, probably a fair penalty, but really, you never know what sort of lap Jen's had in the locker.
Jens has been quite a good little driver when it comes to qualifying.
He has.
Recently. All of a sudden, at the end of this season, the qualifying performance from Jens has been class. The race performance, he's still getting there, trying to find his way around the Alpine car. But yeah, this performance he's been doing, I think that would have been a good lap from him. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's definitely going to be an interesting 9 minutes left in this qualifying session. Slower due to the rain. However, it's not being the case for the likes of MJB, Bjorn, Quint, and also Humph, the top three.
Yeah, I'll just move on to Jatin as well. He's just come across the line to topple George Gamer, 3-time world champion there.
Crikey, so he's obviously looking for a continuation of his form. Obviously, last time out, got the win. Would be lovely if he can manage to, replicate or get close to that to finish off the season in a very good vein of form.
Yeah, the form he's had, he only joined the season like 3 or 4 rounds ago, but the form he's had is incredible. I think he got 4th, 5th, and then he won it. So we'll see what he can do into this race.
Jen says in chat, it's not a fair pen. He was on a lap, he half spun through the fast right, and he couldn't go anywhere. So actually, bit of a just 50-50. One of the sort of incidents that the rain throws up in quali and also the race. So I don't think anyone's to blame really by the sounds of it, but unlucky then for the Sauber.
Yeah, unlucky for the Sauber. Jens as well, I mean, getting away with it by the sounds of it, only with a bit of damage. We never know. Reports will come in, we're sure, but just unlucky for both, I think, there.
Couple of drivers, something to just touch on. Couple of drivers maybe risking the intermediates, whether it's a risk or not, I don't know, but could be a sign of the rain easing up a bit.
Yeah, I compared to when it started, the rain's definitely eased up a little bit, but it's still downpouring for sure.
Yes. Oh, there's a stopped Haas. That is just before the banking then. Not sure what's gone on.
He's going to pull out in front of the Williams. Oh, that was
Jesus
far too
Christ.
close.
Was that Jatin or George?
I think that was George on a hog as well.
Not what you want to see.
George has done that before. If you remember back to pre-season of this season, actually, he spun around, put it into reverse gear. This was at Spain, final corner, and lobbed it in front of Camilo.
I remember the TikTok.
The TikTok did come out, yeah. It was a very light TikTok, that one there.
Oh dear. Yeah. Nice to see in the chat, VB and also Jen's obviously both, taking into account that it was just the game being the game. No hard feelings between the pair.
Yeah, it's just a normal EA F1 game, isn't it?
Can't wait for 25.
Let's hope for 25. Hopefully it's better. Pinkweb, though, does go up to the top in P3.
That's
and Hump topples MJB.
Wow. Hump on wet tyres, so intermediates maybe not the way to go. As he's pipped
There's a lot of inters going on, though.
Yeah.
By looks of it.
MJB being one of them who is going to strap on a new set of inters. Bjorn, George, Hobnob, Baba, all of the top runners, those you'd probably say are within that quote-unquote shootout for pole, all going on the Inter, so maybe the rest of the grid will follow.
Maybe. I mean, you haven't been a racer for a while, but I'm sure you still have that killer instinct. What would you do? What would you think would be the
Well,
best
looking
option?
at the times, I mean, we started with 124s. So the lap time fastest one being 120.8 does show that the track is almost warming up a bit and maybe the rain's easing off. It's just hard to tell when that crossover point is, and in quali, when you only get really 3 stabs at it, is it worth the risk?
Yeah, I mean, I think Humph, Yatin have all been on those wets from the start and haven't actually pit yet.
No.
But I am watching Pinkweb at the moment. He's on the wets and is purple sector 2. He is absolutely flying. 5/10 improvement at the moment as he comes round the second to last corner, the banking into turn 14. There's where the DRS would be activated in the dry. We're coming down a foot to the floor if you dare towards the last bit into 8th gear. Huge improvement from the Aston Martin driver. Almost 8/10 improved. Puts him to the top.
Massive, massive lap there from Pinkweb. Every single gear change through that final sector. He just danced that Aston Martin round it. And another thing to talk about is Jens briefly went P3. down to P4, but another strong qualifying so far from the Alpine driver, the Great Dane himself.
The Great Dane indeed. His teammate not here, unfortunately, so he's having to fly the flag alone.
Speaking of flying, that is pretty much what Max is doing. Yeah, we've got a reserve driver of Breathemaster filling in for him today. Debut race, if I'm not mistaken.
Yep, you're correct. I think it's the only debut race today. Yeah,
good one to have. We've seen a couple of drivers in the past make their debut race on the final one. I think Hump did that in launch season.
Yeah.
I think he was one of the drivers to make his debut in that final race at Spa, and then bring it back and have, obviously look at this now, fighting for won the championship on Fridays.
Won the championship. Yeah. I mean, he was actually fighting for the Thursday championship at one point, but it did fall off a little bit. Maybe just to focus more on Fridays.
Well, there's always that, isn't it? Obviously, fighting across two fronts is always going to be difficult. Just ask Hitler. But either way, the two McLaren.
Oh, sorry.
Crikey, Stefania.
Interrupt, yeah. And Ricciardo. Ricardo. Not Ricardo.
Try again, buddy.
Rico. Yeah, it's like twice in a row I get it wrong. Rico.
And Bubba, the intermediates are the way to go.
Yeah.
119.
I mean, Bubba's another one. Bubba's another one that is class in the qualifying. Recently has actually been quite good in the race as well. Just bad luck, really. Rapid, absolutely rapid.
Something to look at then now. Obviously, MJB caught out, maybe still in the box. With 2 minutes left, he's only going to have one last go. Captain already setting up for that final push lap, so he'll be the first of the expected fast drivers in the session to set a lap time. So he's now coming around the banking to set up the lap. So,
do you want to talk us through this lap of Captain?
Absolutely, I think might as well, as he's now foot to the floor, going to start burning only medium deployment on the RS at the minute, so obviously trying to recover during the lap as much as he can. Nicely done through turn 1, chucking it into 2, and then through Stefania going fastest as we go. Through the bank, he went quite for a tight line there, which isn't going to help his exit all the way down then through Sector 1. Interesting to see where this puts his sector time in respect to the other drivers. 1.1 and he's purple. So Captain Hobnob, whatever you want to call him, drifting out wide there, but he is flying and flying fast then through Sector 2. Down towards turn 9, slightly caught on the curb on the outside there. That can really scrub off a lot of time for your lap. And he's actually messed up there. I think he's maybe come off the throttle and backed off to have one last stab at it. But he's playing a risky game down in P13 without a fast lap to show for it.
I mean, yeah, he's got enough time to get that car cooled down and go again. But he's got one more lap to try and show what he can do. MJB, though, has made it out onto the track.
Oh, he has indeed. And the likes now of Bjorn, Jatin, Jens, Pinkweb, Rico, all of these drivers are out on their laps. Purple sector for the Ferrari, I think that was.
Rico?
Big Rico, maybe.
Around the final 2 corners.
This could be interesting to see. He's on wet. One of the only drivers in the top, well, pretty much the whole grid to still be on wet tyres. Up to the line then for the Ferrari. Not an improvement enough for a lap. That will be it then.
I think he improved a little bit, but didn't improve his position. So, yeah, I mean, on the wets, I don't think it's the optimal tyre. It's pretty much everyone is now on inters. Yeah. So I feel like the inters are the better way to go. I would say that now.
Yeah, MJB now. Humph! That's a big improvement.
I was riding on board with Rico, coming on, I think he was going for another lap, coming out of turn 3, the banking corner, loses traction and ends up in the grass. Absolute class driving to keep out of the wall. But, yeah, that might have actually given him a little bit of damage.
I think it may well have done, but looking now, Humph, 1:16.7, George goes P2, maybe a revival for the Ford's 3-time champion. But MJB down in P10. He's purple in Sector 2, Callum.
He's flying. He's got a few drivers ahead of him. But I don't think that's going to interrupt him as here he comes.
Hobnob first, though, to the line. he takes it.
Topples. Oh, it's going to be spicy. Here comes MJB. That is what we want to see. Round the final corner. To the line. Goes the Dutchman.
Takes
He
it.
topples the grid.
No
oh,
way.
MJB. Oh, it's close though, isn't
That
it?
is so unbelievably close. This championship is going to get spicy in the race.
It really is. And there's still a few more quick drivers coming around. Pinkweb's on a lap. Hump's on a lap. Who's next across the line? I think it's Pinkweb. He comes to the line, doesn't improve too much.
Yatin.
Who else is next? Is it
P4.
Yatin? Absolutely flying. And here comes Hump. I don't think Hump's improving. To the line. Nope. No improvement from Hump.
And Jens is pitting,
And
so that is qualifying done.
Qualifying over. Wow. What a session that one was.
Unreal stuff.
But MJB and Captain, you couldn't write it, could you?
No.
1 and 2.
That's just what you want to see. This is Max and Lewis heritage between the pair of them. Lining that front row. That's going to be a very short run down to turn 1 with two very fast drivers.
It's actually very much the Max and Lewis, isn't it? There's a British and a Dutchman.
This is going to be some very, very exciting racing.
I mean, yeah, we're going to quickly run, though, a 2-minute ad for the pause that George Gamer will run us through. But at the moment, MJB, Captain and Hump, the top 3, been the top 3 pretty much all season.
Whew. This is just, I mean, showing dominance of these front 2, but I mean Humph being there consistently as well all the way through, whilst fighting a championship on his other hand, you know, just shows a testament to the Brit.
Oh yeah, he's definitely shown what he can do. I will just mention we have got a new follower, that is Rich. Thank you very much for the follow in Twitch chat.
Good to
and
see.
He's also joined in the Discord, so I'm sure we'll maybe see him in racing soon.
Good to see. I think we're up to 93 or 4 now, and it's raining again.
Oh, I think Jens did say in the Twitch, possibly. Yeah, so he said it was going to rain, but it could get dry. It does like to be a bit mixed in the Netherlands, doesn't it? It's Europe in the end of the day.
I'm not sure if that's going to heal up at all whatsoever. That looks heavy rain. That looks monsoon weather. It's more a sailing race than a motor race, but yeah, I mean, fair play to him. Good luck.
Yatin says it's going to be wet throughout the race.
Now that, for the championship, is huge.
Oh yeah, that is huge. I mean, what would you do at this point if you were captain, sitting looking at your rival, knowing you have to beat him, and he's ahead of you? What would you do?
I'd probably pull a Senna and take him out first corner and hope that I keep it out the wall and the gravel. Is there gravel at turn 1 in Zandvoort, or is it tarmac?
Yep, straight into gravel, I think.
Straight into gravel, so almost just nudge him off the track. Hope you carry on. Hope your car doesn't have damage like Damon Hill in Adelaide, and, you know, win the championship. Easy days.
Easy days, yeah. I mean, if he does that, if MJB is to retire, he needs those 4 points, and that is going to be a P9. That's all he needs.
That is so achievable for the McLaren. But, you know, as we've said before many times in this league, anything happens, and it usually, you know, does. I think the amount of times, even when we were driving back in Season 2, there was so many things that went on. Was it Season 2 or 1?
Mean, we were Season 1, and you then went off on injury about, what,
2
races
races
in Season 3?
Championship leader,
yeah.
lost it.
Yeah, you pretty much won every race to start off with, and then resigned, called it a day.
You know, quit while you're ahead.
Yeah, quit while you're... I mean, we won't talk about Season 1 championship results then, shall we not?
I think we do, but we talk about the constructors rather than drivers, because you are getting chatted to by... getting blessed by the voices of the Season 1 constructors champs. That's all I'm going to say.
And hopefully one of the Season 4 Friday constructors champs. We'll see.
Well, that may well be a something that happens in the near future. I think obviously tomorrow we'll find that out, won't we?
Hopefully, yeah. Hopefully it'll go our
Fingers
way.
crossed.
But George is giving the command for formation lap to get underway. So, do you want to give us a run through of the tyres?
So, tyres pretty standard then. All but one driver is on the wet tyres. That one driver making the gamble, and pretty stupid gamble if you ask me, is Genzi on the intermediates. Love to just give us a bit of drama, doesn't he?
Oh yeah.
Intermediates, what are you thinking, buddy? If this works and he wins this race by 20 seconds, then I will resign from any sort of commentary. I will give him a head FIA role. Everything can go to Jens. But I thought he spun.
So did I. Oh yeah, it's funny.
Oh dearie dear.
But yeah, to be fair, the wets on this track, as I have a lovely little voice crack, the wets on this game are shocking. They're such a nasty tyre to use. By the look of the track, I can't even see the drivers in front and behind Jens. So it's definitely raining enough for the wets.
Yeah.
It's just, how long does it normally last? Because normally after a few laps, the track is dry enough for inters. So we'll wait and see. But yeah, it's the Netherlands at the end of the day, so it does like to rain every day, all day. So
yeah, I mean, it's not actually. I forget how short a circuit Zandvoort is, because they're already getting ready to come across the banking and reform the grids.
Yeah, and here comes MJ facing that a very short run to the line when he gets into his slot.
Is he going to try and pull the old Max Verstappen and point his car towards his championship rival? I think he is, ever so slightly.
Yeah, just a slight, and I think Captain is facing dead into that inside line.
He wants to get there first.
Yeah, but there we go. Here comes a Weeby to round off our grid, and then we'll get ourselves on the way for round 20.
Take us away, buddy.
Here in Charging League Racing. Thank you very much, as we're going to go to the big 5 red lights here in CLR. It was a long hold, but we're now go to turn 1. The two championship leaders will not be side by side as Hump sticks his nose round the outside. MJB with a class start, and Bjorn shoving it up the inside of Bubba.
Ferrari coming off at the back there twice through turn 1 and then 2. Rico Kirikiri falling down to the back of the field.
Yeah, I did see a little bit of contact at the back. I think there was damage as well. But at the moment, George Gamer right up the back of Yatin. Bubba with an absolute incredibly poor start. Dropped down a good couple of positions, I believe, there.
I think so, and he's now going to lose another one to Stefania through turn 8, sorry. And they've made contact, but it's just ever so slightly. I think Baba's got a front left end plate missing.
Has he? Is that on the front left, you say, yeah?
I think it is. Yes, it is. That's damage on the McLaren. That is going to absolutely make his race hell in these wet conditions.
That's not what you want to have early on, is it? That will have to be changed, because he is clearly losing some pace with that.
Yeah, 100%. And the two Williams then swapping places. George usurping Jatin for 5th position, but they have already lost out to the top 4 train.
Yeah, Bjorn, Hump, Captain and MJB do like to be in a train at the front, and they're doing it again. Already before the start of lap 2, sorry, they've got that gap.
With Captain or Hobnob, I'm going to call him Hobnob for the sake of easiness, but Hobnob would have wanted a better start. I think he really bogged down. I think almost got too much wheel spin, didn't allow the clutch to fully go, but you know, he's managed to hold on to that P2 and he's not gone any further back then, so he's going to keep that pressure on the Dutchman ahead, who seems to be thriving.
Oh yeah, MJB with an incredible start off the line, probably the best all season. It's what he needed. And then Captain, as you say, not getting out his marks that well. He has closed up a little bit and did do well to fend off Hump into turn 1, because Hump was right up the outside line on Captain there. Yeah,
really strong start from a lot of the grid, to be fair. I think the instant with Baba, I think someone just squeezed him. I saw an end plate get kicked up, but without you know, jinxing it or putting the commentary curse on, I think that was a fairly clean getaway from everyone, hopefully with less tickets to report.
Hopefully. I did see at the moment, actually, we'll jump back. That is Rico making a move on Jens. Jens on the intermediate tyres. Had a good start, but seems to be bogging down a little bit now.
Seems to be getting okay traction. I was expecting Jens to be putting the foot to the floor and the wheels just almost kind of holding him back and not letting him go any further. But the traction actually he's getting on those inters isn't the worst, so maybe I'm seeing a glimmer of hope for the Danishman. But either way, it's not looking too spectacular for Jens.
No, definitely not. We'll wait and see what he can do. But at the moment, I was just watching the fight with Pinkweb and Bubba into turn 1. Pinkweb going to the outside, tried to make a move, got a little bit shown the door very much shut by Bubba, but he's still right on the back of that McLaren, the damaged McLaren car.
Yeah, he's absolutely just teetering on the rain light behind. Slight bit of contact through turn 9, just bumping him across the corner then. And he's gone deep. Has Baba, obviously that damage really not going to help him. And here comes Pinkweb. It's going to be a straight fight, a straight traction battle down towards the chicane. Bit of contact, big old squeeze. And the McLaren just edges ahead through the left-hander.
That McLaren is putting on a master defence, is Bubba at the moment. Really showing a little bit of, skill, bit of experience compared to Pinkweb there.
Yeah.
Pinkweb, new to sim racing, new to Charging League racing, and I think he's clearly struggling, maybe doing a little bit of a Lando Norris, trying to figure out how to make that move stick early on.
Yeah, towards the back of the field, Appy was fighting VB, but now is under threat from the Alpine of Breath behind. Is he going to dive it? Not quite into turn 1, just a bit too opportunistic. Gets on the inside curb there, nearly going round. That would have been a very strange place to crash.
I think that inside curb might be a little bit damp.
Yeah,
but at the moment, who's not got a very damp spirit is Ricciardo. He's absolutely flying, trying to get past the Ferrari ahead of him. I think he might have been passed by Ricciardo. Ricciardo's been passed by Rico, but he's trying to hunt him back down by the looks of it.
Yeah, it does look that way today. Great little battles going on all the way through, isn't it? It's lovely to see.
It is, as we see Pinkweb trying again, tried to learn from his last lap, makes a move, but Bubba gets the traction down incredibly fast onto the back straight and is pulled ahead again.
This is absolutely brilliant driving from everyone so far. I mean, these conditions are horrible in their own right, but put them on a track like the Netherlands, where it's so, I mean, it's not necessarily a street circuit, but it's so tight between the walls at certain parts. There's barely any runoff. So these conditions are treacherous, to say the least.
Oh yeah, as soon as you go off, you're either in the gravel or the wall. You don't want to be in either of them really at all, do you, Sloth?
I think me and you both have had many experiences of getting into both of them. Very much so throughout our careers. Not even just in sim racing, but co-op career modes back in the day.
Back in the day, yeah. And if you're Jens, inside of turn 4 at Saudi Arabia, he very much likes that wall.
Oh, poor guy's going to catch so many strays. Something to think about, though, while we look at the actual sensible side of racing. Captain, as he gets a slight tank slapper through there, is purple in Sector 1, and he is just starting to kneel a bit of pressure onto the neck of MJB, but I don't think MJB is faltering at all. At the minute, he's in control of not just this race, but also the championship standings.
Yep, if things end as they are, as we said in qualifying, this will be it. MJB will win the drivers. Yeah,
something as well that I've just clocked. Bjorn starting to struggle ever so slightly getting the traction down. I don't know if it's a consistent thing, but as I just watched him go through a couple of corners there, the traction kicking out the rear end, maybe struggling more than if it was a dry race.
Oh yeah, maybe the tyre gang's a bit hot now, following the car in front of you. That spray is definitely going to heat them up a little bit.
I want to make sure we keep a keen eye. If you keep looking at the tyres, I'm going to keep an eye on the fastest lap. Still a 122 then, so qualifying as we had the intermediate crossover was a 119, maybe low 120s. So when these lap times start consistently getting quicker, maybe that's the point where the intermediates become the more favourable tyre.
Oh yeah, and as soon as the wets begin to get slightly overheated as well, they just turn off. They do not do anything helpful apart from spin you out. So yeah. But at the moment, there is a fight going on at the back between the Alpine of Jens and Pinkweb. Down the inside goes the Alpine car. He will now have the outside onto what turns out turn 10. He gets the traction down on those intermediates. Is it going to be better than Pinkweb on the wets? It was about the same as they're going to go side by side now towards the final couple of parts of Sector 2 into Sector 3. Pinkweb gets the traction down and stays ahead. Not for long though. Here comes Jens out of turn 12. Tries to stick his nose in there, but couldn't get it to stick.
Lap time still increasing as we cut away from that battle. MJB and Captain at the front. Captain really is just trying to get something now. I think he's decided, whilst he settled into that first initial phase, I think he's now going to start getting those tyres up to temperature and putting ever more pressure on the man he's fighting for the championship.
Oh yeah, and I will just mention that, we'll come back to that in a minute, as Captain does actually just set Purple Sector 1. 6th PAM, or 6th PAF, has pit early on for damage, went onto the intermediates, and has just spun and hit his front wing again. I think he came out unscathed, but not what you want to have in that Haas car at the back of the grid.
No, not at all. I mean, pitting this early on when everyone else around you isn't is such a big disadvantage throughout the race, let alone then coming back out and hitting off your front wing once again.
Yeah, going to cost that team a bit of money. He's had a bit of an unlucky start to his career here in CLR. Another new driver, joined I think last week, maybe the week before. He actually is quite fast on that intermediate though. In the clean air, is putting in some fairly decent lap times, I think.
That matches up with Jens.
So Captain.
Jens as well.
Yeah, matching Jens. Yeah. He's quite quick. If he didn't spin, he would have been back in contention, I think.
That lap time is starting to come down. Fastest for MJB, 121.9 then. So not anywhere near the crossover point yet. However, you know, start to keep your eyes open. And you never know. If this rain, yields ever so slightly, we may end up seeing a drier line start to form, which means the Inters are the ones to go for.
And yeah, as you say that, Sloth, Stefania comes into the pit lane and does strap on a nice, fresh, spanking new set of intermediates.
Wow, that's ballsy. Lap 8, I mean, I know Jens is starting to do well on the Inters. So too is, I think you said 6th PAF was in good and clean air. But
yeah, I think intermediates are the way to go.
Seems to be.
Possibly.
Jens is right up the backside of Pinkweb, who himself is fighting up behind Ricardo. But I think Jens, I don't know if it's more just driver skill or the actual strategy side, but those intermediates looking alive now on lap 8.
I wouldn't call it driver skill.
It is Jens.
Yeah, it is Jens at the end of the day. As he is coming around turn 12 at the moment, trying a sizable move. Captain as well at the front. I think he wanted a sizable move, but MJB putting in a little bit of work and has pulled a little bit of a lead again. It was 8 tenths briefly, as Captain having to push, I think, to try and keep up with the Dutchman. Which
at the end of the day is just going to play right into the hands of MJB, who, as I said, in control, but if he can pull a gap without having to kill off his tyres too much and push himself, then it does mean that Captain is going to have to give it everything he's got, which will kill his tyres for definite.
Oh yeah, I mean, pushing on the wets is not something you really want to do, because as soon as they get hot, they, like I say, they don't really cool down on the F1 24 game. They just stay hot, unless it starts to rain heavier, but I don't think it can unless it stops the race, because this rain is still fairly treacherous.
Yeah, this is really now going to be a crucial turning point in the race. Stefania now caught right up behind Brief. If he can make short work of this, then maybe could be making a case for the Inters starting to be the quicker tyre.
Oh yeah, and you can see as Brief goes a little bit wide there.
Great move, down the inside. The Mercedes chucks it up the inside of the Alpine. Lovely stuff from Stefania, and maybe, just maybe, Inters are the way to go.
Oh yeah, Stefania in the Mercedes. She's been really, really quick recently. She's a new driver as well for you, Sloth. And obviously, if you're new in the chat, she's only been here for a couple of races. But I do see, what's that? Is that Bubba
That is
pitting? Yeah.
Bubba. Will he change that front wing?
Yes, he
Yes,
does.
he does. Now that, well, it's going to lose him some time. Maybe the undercut attempt on the Inters, he can try and claw some of that back with the quicker tyres, if you like.
Yeah, definitely. And at the moment, Sloth, if you were in captain's car in his shoes and you're not able to get past MJB and you're seeing there's a couple of intermediates going on, would you think maybe I'll pull it early, pull the pin, go for the intermediates?
Well, at the minute, the man who is not controlling the pace, but setting the timing sheets alight is captain on those wets. So I think whilst he's setting new purple sectors, I don't think it's the sort of time that he necessarily needs to pull the pin and take a risk. If he can keep getting quicker on those wets, I think it'd be stupid to try and risk pitting in. He's faked a pit stop there though.
Yeah.
121.5 is the fastest lap. Didn't improve on this lap, but Inter's, I think that rain is starting to let up. I think the spray's definitely a lot smaller than it was.
Yeah, the cars, obviously, the intermediates displace a hell of a lot of water. The wets do. The intermediates do as well, but the wets, the amount of water they spray up is incredible. I don't know the exact figure, but it's a good 80, 90 litres or something.
It's a crazy amount. But as we're talking about the tyres, obviously being the crunch point of this race, where it's really going to be make or break, a lot of the mid-pack of drivers, so your 21, so Ricardo, Rico Kirikiri, Pinkweb again, also VB, all of those mid-pack all coming onto the Inters at the same point. So try the undercut on a couple of drivers ahead of them, just trying to cover off a few of the drivers around them as well. I think that now we're pretty much half and half with wets and Inters, so it's going to be good to see.
For sure indeed. And I did see, whilst everyone was pitting, Bubba went purple sector 3, and at the moment has just gone purple sector 1 on this current lap.
That's going to be something to definitely say then.
Yeah, Bubba's showing the pace. I mean, maybe he can inform his teammate the information that the Inters are absolutely rapid, and maybe McLaren can do something for the team.
Yeah, I mean, end of the day, McLaren need to, obviously, constructors is sorted and everything, but they need to try and get Hobnob his Drivers' Championship. So strategy, if he can look at Baba's time, see what he's doing on those fresh Inters, maybe he can make a now that is huge. 121.3, so it's a huge, it's 2/10 chunk he's cut out Hobnob's previous best. There's a 120.4, so it's going down even quicker. The Inters are flying. Hobnob has to pit.
He definitely does. Yasin was the next driver to come into the pit lane and change his. Breathmaster as well. They've changed their tyres. So there's only the front couple drivers at the moment. Still won't pull the trigger.
Well, at the end of the day, the longer you stay out, the more risk you are taking. And yes, I think you'd be stupid now looking at the timing. I mean, Captain's teammate has gone and got the fastest lap by some margin. You've got to look at that and go, now's the time. Because if he pulls the plug now, MJB, whilst he's obviously going to cover him off the next lap, that out lap or in lap for MJB is going to be crucial. And if he starts to slow whilst Hobnob gets quicker, you never know. I mean, he's absolutely going to be in the driving seat.
He is indeed, but I've just seen something. That is Breathmaster gone ricketing off the track on the skateboard curb.
Ooh.
I think she may have come out without damage. No, she's lost her front left end plate. So, or Briefmaster, should I say, as on the intermediates, clearly showing that they're not doing enough yet. They have the pace, but not to give enough grip to have that confidence at the moment. So maybe the West can still provide the front runners that confidence that they need.
Yeah, well, at the end of the day, the Inters are looking great. Jens may have pulled an absolute mad strategy there, settling in nicely behind the top 3 in P4.
Yeah, I mean, do we think that the intermediate runners are going to have to pit again
Yeah, I
for
mean,
another set?
I think by the end of how many laps we got now, maths is not my strong suit. I think there's still 20. No,
22.
is it 22?
22 laps.
Yeah, 22 laps left in this race. I'm not sure those Inters are going to go, so Jens will have to pit. And I think Sixpath and maybe Stefania will as well. I don't know.
Yeah, I think so. With MJB, Captain and Beyond going this late though, they'll probably pit a bit later on and get onto a nice fresh set of Inters, and that'll be it. The other drivers, if they don't pit, they're going to be screaming some those where intermediates at the end, aren't they? They're not going to be happy tyres.
Yeah, it's going to be a case of trying to keep them happy whilst also keeping your foot to the floor.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Across the line, Pinkweb and Ricciardo going side by side into turn 1. There was contact made. Bubba tries to stick his nose in there. Ricciardo goes a little bit wide, and it does give Bubba P11. Ricciardo losing 2 positions in the span of 1 corner.
Great to see the little 3-man battle fighting all the way through the first couple of turns, and I'm sure it's going to be something that stays on.
Yeah, Jens was actually involved in this battle, if you remember, with Pinkweb and Ricciardo.
Yeah.
He's now about a sector across the sector ahead on the track. He's flying.
He really is. He's absolutely loving life.
And if we look at the net lead, he is leading. He's net leading this Grand Prix.
Oh, yeah. I mean, those front 3 all going to have to pit. Bjorn, as we say, that is the first of the 3 to make the initial change onto those green wall tyres.
That's interesting to see for sure. I thought he might have stuck it out a little bit longer, you know, along with the 2 ahead of him, but maybe he's trying to pull the trigger early and close up to the fight, maybe trying to get involved in this championship fight.
Yeah, I mean, at the end of the day, it's going to be huge, isn't it, this championship now? It's with the strategy, I mean, obviously, at the start, we thought it was going to be heavy rain to the end, so it was just going to be a straight battle between these 2. But the strategy getting sprinkled in is just going to create so much more, add so much more depth to this fight all the way up to the line, I reckon.
Oh, it really, really is, as they're still going, Hammer and Tong. And who is going Hammer and Tong is humping Jens. Jens was defending that position quite hard, but outside of turn, what is that, 8 there, I believe? Maybe 9, he has had the C position to Hump, and on those fresher inters, Hump is flying. He might even get that undercut on the 2 drivers ahead of him.
He might indeed. MJB into the pits, but he sped!
Yeah, MJB, that's not what we want to do.
That is crazy to see. That could well be the championship gone.
Yeah, that very much could be. Interesting enough, we haven't ever seen this in CLR. There's no penalties for 3-second time penalties yet, for warnings. But the first penalty goes to our championship leader.
I mean, that, obviously I know I've just said it's crucial, could be championship defining, it could well be championship ending. Although saying that, Hobnob staying out that 1 extra lap, it could give a bit of a saving grace to MJB.
Yeah, I mean, he's already quite close, isn't he? 16.9. That time is very much being cut out with a knife, isn't it?
Yeah.
He is scooping through it.
It's going to be interesting to see.
It's really interesting. I will be surprised if Hobnob doesn't call it in at this point, as he's going to come round the final turn at the moment.
He's got to, surely.
Surely. No?
No
Hobnob
way.
stays out.
That is... I mean, I can't see his sector times consistently, but they've got to be good. They've got to be, like, within a 10th of his previous best, because there is no way that you decide to stick your neck out for this championship when the championship rival has just got himself a 10-second penalty. You want to take the safest route to the line. Wow.
Maybe McLaren trying to mix it up. I mean, he's definitely been told by now that MJB has got that 10-second time penalty. But as you say, if that was me, I'd be pulling into the pit lane as quick as possible to just cover it off.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, I can't believe that. That's crazy to see.
Those wet tyres clearly losing a hell of a lot of time, as MJB has already gained another 2 seconds on Captain. He's already almost down to 13 seconds. It was about 17 when he came out of the pit lane.
Yeah, really, it's 13 seconds now. I think that's gone down, what? Four. Oh, there's a Mercedes off at the first corner. That's the Stefania. It's not the first corner at all. I'm an idiot. It's turn 8. But I think he's just gone straight on. She has, sorry.
Yeah, that is the same corner that I believe Briefmaster went off as well. As she gets back past Ricciardo. A beautiful move there. But yeah, she's gone off that corner. Obviously, that's as you said, the skateboard corner, the skateboard curb. As soon as you hit it on the dry, you'll go flying off track. And she hit it on the wet, it's even worse.
Yeah.
It's even worse.
Wow, it's just crucial laps then. And Captain still not pitting. That does shock me. I mean, the overcut attempt, fair enough. But when you're losing what? I think it must be about 2 seconds a lap now that he's losing. And he's still not pitting. Surely there's alarm bells ringing. And he's sliding all over the shop. Those wet tyres are nowhere near good enough for these now. 17 laps he's run on them from the start. They're crying out for a bit of saving.
And yeah, you can see every corner, as you say, he is really drifting it in, struggling to keep it within the white lines, just about doing it. And at the moment, by the looks of my timing sheet, he's going to come out behind Humph.
He is indeed. I mean, 18 seconds, yeah, it's going to be touch and go for sure, but he is going to come into the box. He needs to make sure he doesn't speed here, plays it safe after risking so much, but this is going to be weird because MJB's out of the last corner now. He's flying towards the line. He's going to lose so much time here.
Yeah, Captain only just got out of his pit box. MJB through turn 1.
That is interesting to see. Now, the Mercedes of Humph towards the turn 1. Side by side, they could come out. And he's got him.
Yeah, Humph has done him. Oh, McLaren, though, did do a good stop. And here he comes to the inside. And he's done him.
Hats off to him. What a move.
Captain showing his absolute class and why he should be a championship winner. But MJB as well, clearly showing what he does know about the strategy. I think that might be a bit of a blunder from McLaren.
I don't know, because as much as now, I mean, he's 9 seconds behind, MJB's got a 10-second penalty. So, right now, he's come out, he's on 3-lap pressure tyres in an ever-drying track, and he's now still technically net P1. So,
net P1, yeah.
He's just going to increasingly get quicker as laps go on. So MJB needs a lifeline, really, still. I think, obviously, the ball is definitely in the McLaren court. But, you know, there's still so many twists and turns that can happen in the last 18 laps we've got. 17.
I mean, yeah, if 17 laps is the time, the laps are going, the time are dropping. And at the moment, as there's a yellow flag, I'm not sure that's Jens in the final corner. He's in the wall.
Got to be a safety car.
A virtual safety car. Virtual safety car has been called out. Yatin pulls into it. No, he doesn't. He cuts the white line. He could get in trouble for that. But that is Jens out of the Grand Prix. Just like that.
Lots of drivers behind them taking it upon themselves. Those are the same drivers that I said would maybe have to pit anyway again in this race. All coming in themselves now. The likes of Pinkware, Baba, Rico Kirikiri and Ricciardo. So Jens has absolutely, he's just bottled it on the last corner of the Grand Prix circuit. And yeah, how's that not a full safety car? That was debris everywhere along that final corner.
There was a lot of debris. I think MJB, if there was a safety car there, he would have been gutted, because that means Captain would have lost that time advantage, and that's the virtual safety car gone.
Jatin, drive-through penalty for speeding under the VSC. That race done. That is honestly one of the harshest penalties you can get a drive-through, because although you don't stop in the pits, you're limited to that pit speed. That is huge for Jatin. He was running so well with his teammate in a 5th and 6th for Williams, but that is really going to curtail his race.
That's not what you want to see as a Williams supporter. You might be thinking as well, if you're watching from home, that there's a 17-second gap from Jatin to everyone else behind him. But they have all pit for fresh tyres. Jatin's going to have to serve this drive-through penalty and still be on those 8-lap-all tyres.
This is really going to hurt him for sure, coming through it later on.
It definitely is, as I'm just going to quickly go to Twitch chat. Jens, very disappointed in himself there. I think he's kicking himself as he is screaming no at the top of his lungs. Very, very upset by the sounds of it.
I mean, you would be, wouldn't you? Last race of the season, having one of his best races on Thursday since, I'm not even sure when. Having a really, really good time. And, you know, pulled off a masterclass in the strategy, kind of. And yeah, to bin it off there.
I think the worn tyres on this track, I think he might have just been beginning to struggle a bit. Maybe the tyre wear coming into contention, maybe his tyres were getting a little bit too overheated as he was pushing quite hard. I think that's definitely coming to contention, and that's called his race today, just like that.
Yeah, I think 9.2 second gap between the leaders. Captain's going quicker. MJB, though, doing a very stellar job on 3-lap older tyres to keep Captain. Basically, Captain is within that one mistake, and MJB can still win this championship. So, he's doing well, even though he's obviously got that 10-second gap that he needs to just stretch out. He's doing well to almost keep the McLaren at arm's length, really.
He definitely is, and I'm sure MJB knows the gap, knows what he's got to do. And
Stefania's off! Sorry, that is another VSC, and he's off at turn 12 there, through the hairpin. Full safety car's been released.
It has, yeah. That is the full safety car. Bert Moinlander, as it was very well said by Sleepysoft, has come out, has had to drop his sandwich, and is out onto the track.
This is huge, but this is just like Abu Dhabi 2021 in terms of the safety car coming in and mucking everything up. MJB, if he pits, will have to serve 5 seconds of his penalty, and we'll lose a heavy chunk of time. Stefania out, not surprised in the slightest. MJB boxes.
Don't speed this time, MJB. That would be embarrassing. And he doesn't.
Surely,
but this time, I think Hobnob.
He must come in for another
track position here.
Oh,
he's going for track position.
But is MJB a direct threat now? Because he served his 5 seconds. I don't think he's going to serve all 10, is he? He is.
I think you do.
He served all 10.
It's a long pause. It's a long, long time. Long time. And I'm sure Drive to Survive would have loved to make that about a minute long. But I'm sure it did feel like a minute for MJB.
But he's out.
He's lost out of that track position.
No,
yeah, he's out.
He's out of track position, but he's going to catch right back up to Hobnob. So really, MJB, it's advantage you now, son. As you will be 15 seconds back now, but you've got 4-lap fresher inters. You are tucked up directly behind the rear wing of your championship rival. MJB, at his home track, is now, after what was probably, he thought was the end of everything in such a harsh fashion. One mistake, he thought his whole championship had crumbled. He is now in the driving seat to take back this championship and clinch it today.
It's going to be an exciting one. We'll have about 11 laps of this Grand Prix. It's going to be a sprint to the end between our two championship contenders. It's going to be a mad one. We're going to have no voice at the end of this off, I don't think.
I don't think so either. But the only thing that could change this from being a direct sprint between the two at the top is this man in P3, Humph in the Mercedes. I do think that if he can maybe capitalise on a slower start for the likes of MJB. If he can get himself in between the two championship fighters, he can cause a bit of a ruckus and maybe just give Hobnob that breathing space he needs. But it's all if buts and maybes in this race so far. We don't know what's going to happen in the last 11 laps. It's going to be spicy.
It really, really is. And as you say, Humph, he really isn't one. He won't care there's a championship fight going on. All he cares about is the race that's happening at the moment, and he will want that win. He does not care. He will want that win.
He for sure will want that win. And Stefania says in Discord, went straight at the chicane and hit the wall instead of going around it. Now that is unfortunate to say the least, and to put it politely. But yeah, it's just one of them things, I guess. And one lapse in concentration in the rain is gonna make you pay.
Oh yeah, and especially around a Zandvoort. But at the moment, we are gonna have a little bit of a sit rep. So Captain is leading the Grand Prix, MJB close behind, with Humph, Bjorn and George for the top 5. George has been quite quiet this race, but has shown a very good performance. Ricciardo, out of nowhere, has got himself up into P6, and so is Rico, maybe putting wonders with this safety car, the safety car coming out. I think it's shocked a couple of drivers. Yatin down in P8 after serving his drive-through. I'm sure he'll be kicking himself as much as Jens. Bubba after the early damage in P9, and Pinkweb down in P10.
Yeah,
Weeby, another driver, has been quite quiet as well, hasn't he? Quite quiet, only in P11. He's done all right. He's getting his way through with Breathmaster, Furious Happy, rounding off the grid, and then obviously Sixth Path is in the middle of the laps, in the middle of the grid, but he is lapped. So
something that this does help is Yatin served his drive-through. However, now is going to be back within the pack. I know he's on fresh tyres as well, so it almost is a bit of a second chance, a second bite of the cherry for the German driver. So he's almost been given a second lease of life, really.
He needed it, didn't he? He was really far, with a W. He was really far off, really far off. But he's back in it, really back in it. And he's another driver. I mean, all these top 8, really, even I can't really say, even the top 14, they all want to go for it. They're just that kind of bunch, aren't they? They want that. They want to get that point. They want to win. They want that fame.
Of course they do. And to be added to the illustrious list of winners, you got Season 1 Evans, Season 2 was George, launch season George, Season 3 George, Season 4. That's where it comes in today.
Yep, and it will not be George. George will not defend 3 times in a row. 3 times.
Now that is, to be fair, I know you can't expect a driver to stay consistent 4 years in a row, but I went at the start of this season, in pre-season, I thought, you know what, George is probably going to do it again. It's the Max Verstappen effect. You just think he's going to keep getting better and better, but to see the likes of Hobnob and to see the likes of MJB, who has been he's had a couple of close near misses for the championship fight, alongside the likes of Camilo and stuff back in the day. But MJB has really shocked me this season. Come out and just consistently done well.
Yeah, and I'm sure you'll remember, as safety car is in this lap, I'm sure you'll remember, especially Sloth as well. Back in the day, MJB, when he first joined, I'm sure he wouldn't mind me saying, he wasn't the best of drivers. He would spin every now and then. He wasn't very consistent, but this season has in absolute form of his life and has shown it, as he's going to get a chance to get going for a championship fight. Do you want to lead us off the safety car restart, Sloth?
Absolutely then. So watching on board, look how close they're side by side to the banking. Hobnob leaving it to the absolute last millisecond. He does not want to get us going until it suits him. MJB, they're side by side through the banking, just like the Indy 500, which is this weekend. But look at this, the McLaren literally getting kissed on the rear as he gets going for the start. Drive-through penalty for the Ferrari, but that's no matter. As look at that, Humph to the outside, Bjorn looking eager at the back. And it's side by side between the two. There's contact. The Aston Martin P2 there, somehow keeping ahead of the Mercedes. Bjorn side by side, having to back out there. But that was nearly exactly what we thought would happen. Humph nearly trying to get in between the championship fights and just get annoying. Bjorn unable to capitalise. George P5, Ricardo P6, couple of gaps starting to form there. And as we look all the way through the field, we've got Baba P9 really fighting hard behind the rear wing of that Aston Martin.
It's really close. There was a couple of things at the start of the safety car restart. I saw a wing flying off for someone. We saw Rico getting a drive-through penalty, attempted to serve it, but I don't think he did, if I'm correct.
I'm not sure. No, he can't have, because he just went straight into the box.
Yeah.
Wow.
So Rico's race is over, really. He's done it. He's had to pit, and he'll have to serve that drive-through again. But there's another fight going on. I think that was with Bubba trying to get back past Pink.
Contact between the front two through the banking. MJB has so much overspeed. Able to brake so much later on those 4-lap older tyres. Is he going to go for the move here?
It looks like it. He's really, really close. He does make a little bit of a dive, but Captain covers it off. MJB has to stay behind. We go towards turn 2, the right-hander. Can he do anything? Into the banking. No, Captain. He looks huge, doesn't he?
That is absolutely amazing. Captain, oh, there's debris came off at the back there for someone. Unsure who it was, but as you say, Captain becoming the Ministry of Defence for Great Britain, as he's absolutely sitting on the racing line, making that car as wide as physically possible. MJB can't get through whatsoever now.
Captain is the Daniel Ricciardo of CLR, isn't he?
Yeah,
he's the one that everyone loves, and he's class defending. MJB though, he don't care. He's going to do anything he can as we're going to head towards turn 11 now. Can MJB go to the inside? No, he can't. Has to stay behind for another corner. This
battling is going to be so intense, and obviously MJB is going to have this advantage to the end with those 4-lap fresher tyres. Look at him hoovering round that last couple of corners. This has got to be a move now, this lap, surely.
Yeah, as he pulls up behind Captain, will ride on board with the Aston Martin driver, fastest lap of the Grand Prix, but Captain has pulled away a little bit down that straight, maybe running lower wings. He's quite quick. I
think the lower wings mixed in with... Oh, there's a V-carb off at the back there, Ricardo going slow. But yeah, as we say, Hobnob, probably a mixture, a combination of lower wings, good ERS management, but also just tactics, picking up the throttle, getting it applied in the right way for the traction in this rain. I think he's just doing enough to hold off MJB for now down the straight, so it may well be an unorthodox move needed to be made for the Dutchman to find a way through.
He definitely does, and I think he's going to be doing a lot at the moment, trying to learn how Captain races and make that move, because Captain seems to be following
great
the
traction.
Same line every corner.
He's going for it.
Here he goes to the inside. He makes the dive. Little bit of contact there. Captain on the inside has a bit more traction. There's more contact as MJB is shown the door and the elbow. Everything has been shown. MJB giving the door close there.
Unbelievable stuff. Wheel banging to the extreme. Both drivers within the track limits, all keeping it fair. Rubbin is racing for sure. This is like watching touring cars rather than Formula racing, but it's absolutely brilliant to see.
We love to see it. As here comes MJB again towards the banking. He's right at the back of the McLaren. Can he go to the outside? No, he can't. Has to stay behind. In chat, we have Jens. He's still disappointed about the safety car, and we will just repeat it. The winner does take it all. Once said by, what was it, Baba or Queen? Was it Baba or Queen?
Queen. No,
Queen.
ABBA.
The winner
My bad. It was ABBA.
It was ABBA. ABBA says the winner takes it all, and it does here in CLR. These two
MJB!
very much know it is. MJB, go on MJB!
Jeez Louise, there's contact all the way through. This is brilliant racing.
Oh, MJB with a huge tank slapper in turn 10 there. That's going to lose him heaps of time, and he's inside of Humph now. Pulls out ahead, but that's a second gap lost to Captain. Captain is going to have a little bit of a breather to recharge, cool down for MJB. I'm sure will try and hunt back down.
This is just what you want to see. This is F1 at its epitome. Battling for the championship. Final race of the season. It goes down to the wire. I'm sure we'll see battling all the way down to the final corner of the final lap. It's amazing. You don't know who's winning. Everyone's got the advantage at different times. This is brilliant to see. This is even better than Abu Dhabi 2021.
It really, really is. And at the moment, Captain has actually kept that 1 second lead. I think MJB, instead of being covered in the rainwater, might be covered in sweat now because he's going to be getting a little bit nervous with 6 laps left of this Grand Prix.
It's definitely squeaky bum time for the Dutchman. 8 tenths behind. Maybe it's slightly flustered with that. I think it may well have been slightly too much, you know, contact between himself and Hobnob. I think he was expecting more room on the outside, but you know, he's left him out to dry, which doesn't really work in the rain, but he's left him out to dry. And you know, Hobnob, he wants the championship, and to get it, he's kept it within the lines. He's kept it within racing room, I think. And you know, MJB, he's just got to get on in his own way. I think with those old newer tyres on, he's still the shoe-in for this championship.
He really, really is. And we did see when these two started fighting, quite a big gap to Hump, and then they closed it back. But these two at the front, pulling away once again. As we talk about Hump, here comes Bjorn, round the outside of Hump, touches the grass on the inside of turn 1, but doesn't make it stick. George Gamer though, he might try and make a move, as he can't make it stick either there.
Battle between George and Bjorn. This is just bringing back so many memories between these two. Really good to see. But George, once again, as you said earlier on, quieter race, but he's just there. He's just stayed in P5.
Oh, sorry to interrupt you. Rico has spun, and we have another virtual safety car. Down the straight, the back straight on the exit of turn 10. Rico loses all traction, and that has lost his front wing and brought out Bert Meilander. Again, I'm sure he was tucking back into that sandwich, but that has been taken away from him once again, and he's back out on track. 6 laps left, and he's back out on track.
What sandwich do you reckon he was tucking into? What sort of sandwich does Bert Meilander give you vibes for?
Bert Meilander, oh,
I think he's an egg and cress sort of guy.
Do you? I think
Yeah.
he's more of a prawn cocktail.
Well, that's the thing. What's his meal deal, do you reckon? I reckon egg and cress sandwich. I reckon he goes for a Evian spring water and packet of Monster Munch. He takes it out. He goes a bit wild on the crisp selection, but nothing else.
I think it's a prawn cocktail, along with no, he doesn't. Captain did try to go pit lane, and he calls it late to stay out.
Jeez.
And I think Humph might have done the same thing, and they're all doing it, aren't they? They're all playing the game. But yeah, Bert Meilander. Oh no, they're not all playing the game. There comes Pinkweb into the pit lane. Maybe tricked by some drivers. Rookie mistake. Pulls in. I don't think that's what you want to do here at this late on.
I mean, we've got how many laps left? We have got 4. I can't count. 5. 6.
5, yeah. I'm not sure why Rico's let people pass that. I think if he stayed ahead of the 2 ahead of him, he's
going to be able to unlap himself now, surely.
Yeah. There we go. I think he'll unlap himself here.
Cool. Oh, nearly hits the safety car. I've done that plenty of times.
Oh, yeah. We have someone in chat. That is... I'm going to butcher that. Is it Riska?
Let me have a go. Let me have a crack. Rezia.
Yeah, go on.
Why pit?
Rezia.
Why not?
Why not indeed?
You know, pull the plug. Pull the plug. I need to stop saying that. It don't make sense. Pull the pin and go. Honestly, he's going for it. Why not? I mean, Pinkweb P10. He's not lost a heap of time. He's going to be on quicker tyres, right behind everyone. In the rain, yeah, harder to get moves done, but why not?
We almost got the name. Yeah, I mean, I'm awful at names.
Is it not Rezia?
Obviously, it's your first time here.
Rezia.
I get all. It might be that.
Reziak.
Yeah.
Maybe the K's involved in the name. Reziak.
Possibly. I mean, I get Jens's name wrong sometimes, and he's been here for 3
Is
or
it
4
Jens?
seasons.
I've always called him Jens.
I don't know. He tells me off every night saying, "Well, you got it wrong."
Oh.
There we go.
He would never shout at me.
Oh yeah, he wouldn't, would he? Yeah, you got it right apparently, Sloth.
Reziak. Nice one.
Reziak.
Sick. Love it. Well done, Reziak.
Yeah, but there you go. As you said though, Pinkware pitting. I think it was the right call. He only lost what, 2 positions?
Yeah.
And he's going to have fresher tyres,
Why
going to
not?
be ready. He's going to be flying.
Why not? This is to be fair, Hobnob has the 4-lap older tyres than MJB, but a safety car just lets the tyres just cool down, and it's going to equalise up MJB's fresher rubber with Captain's. It's going to allow him to cool down the car. It's going to allow him to chill, and it's just going to give us a hell of a last race.
It really, really is. I mean, we thought the last sprint being 11 laps was going to be exciting, but really, we've now got a 3-lap sprint to the end, as the safety car will probably come in this lap. I have to say, my heart's pounding. My heart really is.
Imagine the drivers then. MJB. I mean, who's going to be more nervous, Captain or MJB? I mean, Captain's obviously got more riding on this because he's coming from behind, but MJB's not in control, so it's going to be crazy. As Jen says, going to fight like crazy to the end. MJB chucking it up the inside of the chicane was crazy. Chucking it round the outside of turn 10 was crazy. So, everyone's got the balls to make moves, and if you can do it, why the hell not? Give us something to commentate over. That's what I say.
I agree fully. And for those in chat, and for you, Sloth, put your prediction in. MJB or Captain?
As much as I think MJB on those fresher tyres is going to be rapid, something about this race, everything's lent towards Hobnob, and I don't know, I think he probably deserves it with how much he's got. But then MJB, he got a 10-second penalty and he's still able to win the championship today. It's insane. So I cannot even pick. I think Jen should win the championship personally, but is what it is.
Jen's in chat says that Humph wins the Grand Prix, MJB and Hobnob in the gravel. Jens, I'm going to ask you from your side, who do you think is going to win the championship between Captain and MJB?
Reziak says Captain.
I mean,
yeah,
I think I agree. Although it's so close.
I don't know.
Anyone. It's going to come to the final corner, isn't it?
I think Jens is tempted. Tempted? I think Jens might be onto something. Both are ending in the gravel.
I mean, yeah.
I would hate to see the championship decided in the gravel trap, which I know goes against something I said at the start of the race, but I think that would be a really sour taste left in the mouth, especially if it means that MJB wins the champion. I don't think he'd want to win it in that way.
Definitely not.
But, if that happens, then it won't be necessarily finished in the gravel trap. If we're going to be blaming people, if there's someone to blame, then it's going to be decided in the steward's room, which I can't wait.
Yeah, but there's a safety car back in. We're going to have 2 laps. There comes Yatin up to P1. What the hell?
Is he alright?
Well, he's got the position, and he's somehow kept it.
Nah, he's yielding. That's just ruined the restart. Nah,
yep,
right.
I will let you lead us back off again.
Are you sure?
As he's still faffing off. Yeah, go on.
Okay then, so very similar. Now look at this, boys. This is not what we want to see. Look how slow everything's going, and it's the 2 championship protagonists who are going to get away from us, although Hobnob absolutely clenching onto every single bit of tarmac, just holding up MJB, just almost trying to kick up some dirt in his mirrors. He's just wanting to play every single trick in the book. And here we go then. When's he going to gamble? When's he going to put the foot to the floor? He goes now. MJB reacts well. Much better than last time. Bjorn getting a great restart to the inside of Humph. Maybe George trying to get involved as well. MJB to the inside. That's a dive and a half. Really risky stuff. Showed the nose. Captain able to just edge ahead and eke out a slight lead. But MJB sniffing that rear wing. The rain light illuminating through that rain. And the spray getting kicked up. Look at these two fighting for the championship. As it stands, Captain will win. MJB second. But it's whoever finishes ahead and wins this race. Bjorn with a massive tank slapper there, fighting Humph. This is insane to see. Humph to the inside, down to turn 9. He sends it. Somehow no contact made between them all, very minimal. And what a restart, Callum.
It's really close. Even in the back, I can see Pinkweb and Rico fighting. I would watch it, but I need to see this top fight. This is what we want to see. It's really close. We've got a lap and a half left to go. Reziak thinks Yatin's insane for doing that. Jens is off his head. Everyone is getting very excited as we're going to go to the final lap now here in CLR Thursday on F124. And it is all to play for the championship. It is 2 seconds to the guys behind. It is everything is here as we start the final lap now. Here comes MJB to the inside.
How have they not made contact? They have
he's
there.
gone past. He is in the lead as we went through turn 1. Captain has a small tank slapper and MJB has passed through turn 3. We go now. We've only got 9 or 10 more corners left to go. MJB is in the lead, Sloth.
George Gamer, P5, Baba falling foul of an incident, but it's not the fight. Captain to the outside here. That was unorthodox, that was desperate, but we're seeing every single thing being thrown. He's thrown the kitchen sink at him, but MJB holding supreme.
He really is. His teammate of Captain, Bubba, is in the wall, and that is his race over on the final lap. But we have a sector and a half to go now, Sloth. We really have a fight on our hands, and MJB has 5/10 of an advantage. We're going to have a fight into the final sector, I think.
This is going to be absolutely crucial corners for the Grand Prix. For the championship, Hobnob gets a slight tank slapper. It's MJB's to win.
It really is. And as we come around the final corner on F124, we have a new Drivers' World Champion, and it will be MJB 25 across the line. MJB is your Season 4 F124 Charging League Racing Champion. For the drivers tier, he's toppled Captain or Hobnob, and that is it. MJB shows it in style, winning the final Grand Prix as Captain leaves the session. That's it. That's it, Sloth.
That may well have been the most exciting ending to not just a race, but a season I've seen in this league or any. Wow, that was cinema stuff. If the F1 movie ain't like that at the end of this year, I'm not watching it. Might as well just put this in as the screen right for it, because wow, we are seeing, look at that, with a Dutchman flag hanged up behind his shoulders at his home Grand Prix, and he wins it. You cannot write this.
You really, really can't. And I'm sure MJB will be over the moon. People in chat cheering people on. Reziak saying it was like Hamilton versus Verstappen, like we said earlier on, Sloth. It was close. Jens cheering people on. GG's to everyone, obviously. PlayStation in chat saying it was really good. Bravo. It was insane. Really, really insane. But I have one more question for you, Sloth. Who would you give Driver of the Day?
As cliche as it's going to sound, I've got to give it to MJB. I mean, I know he started P1, but 10-second time penalty. To come back from that, I know he's got safety cars to help him, but the strategy, he played it an absolute blinder. And as well as Hobnob did, and I think if Hobnob won the championship, he'd be getting my Driver of the Day, because he at times was unbelievable as well. But there can only be one winner, just like the championship, and it's got to go to the Dutchman today.
I would definitely agree with you, as that is it. Our top 3, we didn't get to see it because it was cheering on MJB, but it did end up being MJB with Hobnob behind him. And then it was Humph getting that 3rd place in the end, just about ahead of Bjorn.
Wow, I cannot believe that. That was some of the best racing I've seen. Unbelievable. Wow.
It was class. It was really, really class. And MJB, having led for so long now of this championship and doing wonders, and for some reason I've been reloaded back into the game. But yeah, MJB. I'm still in shock. I'm still in shock.
I can't believe that's just happened. And yeah, I'm hoping that we're not going to be too busy in the stewarding room over this weekend, because I didn't see too many incidents happen there. But unbelievable. Really well done. Congrats to MJB. Congrats to everyone for this season. And bring on F125. That's what I say.
Bring it on. And I mean, we still have tomorrow.
Exactly.
There's still another race of CLR F124 to unfold. It's going to be Friday tier. It's going to be with George Gamer, and it's going to be at Spa.
It will be.
Spa Francorchamps. Spa Francorchamps.
You've ruined that.
Spa. I've ruined. Yeah, it's going to be at Spa. It's going to be at Belgium.
Yeah. Anyways, wow, what an end. I'm gonna head off now, but I think I need to lay down after that. That was insane.
Oh yeah.
I absolutely love this league.
Well, so do I. I think like everyone does, as we have got that new follower of Rich through the stream. So thank you very much. Thank you for everyone that joined in, and I think thank you to Sleepy Sloth for joining me in the comments box today. It's been a pleasure.
Absolute pleasure. Maybe a return to racing next season, but if not, I'm sure I will be here for a couple more co-commentating.
Hopefully, and that brings it to the end. There's only so much I can say for next season, but we'll come back for another F1 25 launch season in a few weeks' time. Yeah, it's going to be another good season. And I hope we see you all there. But I think that's it for CLR Thursday Season 4, Sloth. I think we need to
round it off.
Bring it to the end.
Wow. Unbelievable. I'll let you do the honours, but pleasure from me for just this race, but also for the FIA side of things. Well done. We've had some races where things have gone wrong, but at the end of the day, we've kept everyone, for the majority, happy, and thank you all for, sticking with us. Bye-bye.
Yeah, and yeah. Oh, sorry, I was going to say my bit as well, but bye-bye. Thank you, Sloth. We have enjoyed having you. And yeah, from my bit, as the moderators and CLR Thursday race operator, it has been a pleasure to do this entire season with you. And I'm sure we'll see you in the near future and into the long foreseeable future. So thank you very much, guys, and we will see you in the next season and tomorrow with George Gamer. So that has been GingerNut1107 and Sleepy Sloth for tonight. Tonight only, finished for this round. Thank you very much, guys, and we'll see you next. We won't see you next week. That's so used to saying
next
that.
season.
We'll see you next season. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye.